It's me, Nureni. I'm back. And I read this book a few weeks ago now, but I kind of still want to do a little video on it. So here I am talking about it. Yes, as I said, I might forget some stuff, but I think mostly I remember most of the stuff from this book. So yeah, it is In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. So this is a dissident from North Korea. She grew up in North Korea. She lived there until she was 13. And yeah, so the beginning of the book is her life in North Korea. And then after a while, she escapes to China. And then she goes to South Korea. And then she ends up in US. Though the book doesn't really talk about her time in US. But like we know from the back, like it says like she now studies in US. And she has a new book coming out that she seems to be still living in the US. But anyway, yeah. This book is mostly about her and her North Korean background, really. And yeah, for me at least, it was very interesting because I feel like for me, North Korea it's a place you heard about and you know some stuff about. And yeah, I do know, like I have heard. Give me a moment. Yes, I have heard that that yeah, I feel like I've heard more and more people who like escaped North Korea. And yeah, in this book she talked about how no one had like escaped North Korea and told people about it. I feel like it's not that uncommon. But this book came out in, let me see, 20, 2015. So maybe other books have come out after it. Or maybe they just Park didn't know about the other books. Yeah, anyway, doesn't really matter. But yeah, for me, as I said, I didn't really know a lot about how it is to live in North Korea. I mean, I knew that a lot of people who live there are poor, but other than that, I didn't really know that much. So it was quite interesting to get this insight into being in North Korea, really. And also, I suppose, in a way, I've kind of imagined that, like, people in North Korea, either you're the Kims and then you're everything, and everyone else has nothing. So it's interesting to read about Yunomi's life. And yes, sometimes she was hungry and she didn't have opportunities, but sometimes her parents were more fortunate. Like in the beginning of of the book, and sometimes in her life, her parents has jobs and they have money enough for food and all that kind of stuff. Kind of her life is kind of normal. She has a uncle who lives in Hong Kong, China, who brings over some movies, so she sees some movies, even though like you're not allowed to see movies um from the Western stuff, but she still saw Cinderella and stuff like that as a kid. And also yeah, it's just quite interesting to read about her childhood in North Korea, about like how, and yeah, because of how sometimes she couldn't afford to eat and stuff, that she actually didn't go to school that much in North Korea because she had to be home and help her parents, and she couldn't afford her school uniform, stuff like that. And also how like if someone just talks slightly bad about the ruling people like the Kims, then you might get in big trouble. Like even not even just saying like Kim's not Egypt, but like just like slightly saying that maybe the Kims uh, don't know that this village doesn't have that much money or food or whatever, like questioning them in a small way. Yeah, that is dangerous. Like her dad got close to being to going to prison like early in his life. He went to prison later in his life, but yeah, he got close to going to prison early, and yeah, that's quite creepy, really. And also like how, yeah, if some people criticize the Kims, or if they criticize authority, or if like they steal, they might get taken by the police and killed. Like out in the open, like in the streets, in the marketplace. So it's all very direct and out and open in a way. And yeah, I mean, in the end, later on, her dad ends up being imprisoned, but he ends up being able to bribe himself out. So I suppose in North Korea, it's kind of a good thing that people can be bribed. I mean, normally it's not good, but like in North Korea, sometimes they can be bribed, and in that way, it's a good it's a good solution for the problems. But you should really have to be bribed to like help people in hospital and whatever. Like if you have money, you can bribe people, and then you can get help in the hospital. If you don't have money, people will not look out for you. So countries like in a way like North Korea seems to like be like very much of a like they don't even have a name for love in North Korean. Like they don't have a name. I don't have a word for it. It's just so weird. And also um how like yeah, kind of it's a very selfish country. Like either you're for Kims, but like there's not really community going around. Like you can just make up things about your neighbor, or like if you have like a single yeah thought that maybe the things isn't going well, yeah, you can't really think about it. And also like later on when she's trying to get her visa to go to South Korea, and she's kind of yeah she's helped be integrated and stuff, and she's asked what's her favorite color, and she can't think of it because like everyone's favorite thing there has to be like things that Kim's do, like the Kim's favorite color and stuff. They don't really have their own personality in that way, or like their own opinions. Like thinking for yourself, critical thinking, it's not a thing that happens in North Korea. And yeah, and also when they end up escaping North Korea and going to China, they end up both her and her mom end up being sold as wives to Chinese people. So that's not cool. So it's just kind of regularly it's just a very harrowing journey and story. It's a story about survival, about learning about the modern world, and yeah, it is quite a different story really. It's definitely a book I would recommend to check out if you're curious, if you like autobiographies. It is autobiography, she's written it herself. And also if you yeah, if you like autobiographies, if you want to learn more about how North Korea relates to, I suppose this is just one story, but I feel like it's not really that different. Like, yeah, she kind of gives you somewhat of a picture. And she also kind of mentioned that like when she that like how she's yeah lucky in a way, because like she had she had food sometimes, but a lot of people in North Korea die of hunger, or they have food with way less time. So and then she had, and I suppose often you just have hear but people who had it awful. She had a good time sometimes. But like even when she had it good, she went to school and like everything was about the Kims, and like they used the Kims in all the subjects, and it was just so weird to read about. And like mathematics, they talked about like what do you do if you have first you have two idiot Americans, and then you have two more idiot Americans. Like they also had always had to say idiot Americans, not just Americans, but idiot Americans. And yeah, it's just very different story to like most things that I've read. Well, I suppose yeah, in a way it's yeah quite interesting. And yeah, I mean at the top here it says an epic, harrowing, and heartbreaking story, but like the Guardian says that, and I would say yeah, good words to describe it. And yeah, if you're in the mood for a non-fiction biography, I would say check this one out. Also, it's not like a long book. It is 270 pages. So yeah, definitely easy to like lengthwise to get through in a busy everyday. And yeah, that's it. A bit shorter video, but sometimes you don't really need half an hour to read to talk about one book. Depends on the book, but